How did from the day that you and your now ex decided to get divorced, explain to me kind of before you even talk to the children about it, what happened in that window of time?
Well, listen, here's the thing is that none of this is easy. And I think that's one of the most important things that I can say. Generally, there's enough hurt, enough anger, enough disappointment, enough guilt to go around between the couple, between both you and your ex-spouse. So I would never like for anybody to think that it's easy. But I think to me it's just like anything else in life where it comes down to it being a choice. You cannot have an amicable good situation if both people are not committed to it and choosing that. If one or both of you is not choosing that, it won't work. One person, no matter how hard they try, is not going to be enough to overcome the negativity, the hate, those kinds of things. I consider myself extremely lucky that the person I married, my ex-husband, that Keith was somebody who was committed to making it work for the kids.
So you say that it really does come down to again, both people being on the same page. But what would you say if one person was fully committed, but one person you could influence? Meaning that what would you say if you didn't have that partner that was 100% committed to the kids? What would you say to them to try to get them to understand that we have a choice here? And how do you convince that individual to get on the same page?
Yeah, thankfully, Keith, my ex-husband, didn't need any convincing, but I think your question is so good and so valuable because I'm aware of situations where that's not the case. And some people can be persuaded, obviously, and some people cannot. One of the things that Keith has always said that he thinks is funny is, I love my kids more than I hate Molly. And the thing is, it's like, okay, that sounds terrible. But his meaning, the intention behind that was, who are you going to put first? And honestly, it comes down to, are you going to put your children who you say you love and adore first? Or are you going to be so committed to the hate or the anger or the resentment that you have that you put that first, and it's going to blind you to the unbelievable positive outcomes that happen when parents just get along. It doesn't mean that you're over maybe what happened, or that you want to stay married to that person, or that any of those things. It just means that you both make a decision to commit to putting the kids first. And you can still have arguments.
Yeah.
My bias would be have them outside of their purview, so where they're not hearing it and part of it, or pulled into the middle of it. It means not oversharing with your kids details, because there are going to be two sides to every story. No one person in the relationship generally is responsible for the breakdown of the relationship. So I think to persuade somebody who's maybe not on board with making it amicable is difficult. But I think if you can convince that person that your kids are going to be the benefactors of being being an adult and being kind and being thoughtful toward that person, because you married them, you had children with them. If you're married and you get a divorce and there are no children involved, to me it's like it can be very clean. It's not messy. But when there are kids involved, it does get more complicated. But it's not their fault that you and their other parent it couldn't get along or couldn't sustain the relationship for whatever the reasons are. And so I think if you just, because kids, there's so much research about the benefits for kids when the two parents get along. They have healthier relationships. They have better, stronger self-esteem. They have more confidence. They're probably able to share more kindness with the people that they interact with too.